Okay, this one's going to be in response to Higgs's video here. I'm doing one up, make sure I got it done. Got it on here. I'll show you which one it is. Aw, they didn't let me do it. Yeah, they did. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, you got a cybersecurity. It's a computer. It's also a frontal lobe thing. It's a central limit theory. I don't know how good he is, and Pauly says it doesn't exist. If Higgs is not good at all at this version at all, then we got to use this version over here. And you've seen this many times. Even if there is 1 out of 4 people that say we should or shouldn't do something, well, then this starts our Hamiltonian, not our Hamming code, parity error of having a bit flipped. Now, let's say I said that was Travis Tritt. You know it's a country music singer. You know that the issue is wrong. But in terms of the line of the case as an evidence, even though I'm on the stand, you would correct that to say that's the judge. And I would say that makes sense. That's good. And even the jury would understand to flip that bit. And that's essentially a Hamming code. When that happens, there's a signal for it. People's field charge, the coulombs, this to say that these ones over here against me, and that issue of are still ones and zeros. And this goes to the quantum entanglement thesis that they've done this in the set of, the brick and sand jars conjecture. I usually run it like brick and jar conjecture, and with the military aspect with it. Let me just pop this back up to just actually get it for you. That's going to be this. I actually run it with the brick and jar sand jars conjecture on a split screen, and that's to say in the 0 in 1 order of a streaming or a social shopping in the stone mill. Now for me, I would have picked one of my videos, and I did the brick and dryer, does the military, infantry, company operations, order briefs, so an OPORD, that's a OPOD, or what was it, OPOT, and it's overtime on this one for the operator. You know you need to do it because you serve the marshmallow in this standpoint in the Hamming code. Something's not right as far as ones and zeros, and you have to organize it in the bits, right? So first, director information technologies, these are not all 9 volts, and using the machine, we don't adjust that machine to make them all, well, in this case, 3 volts or 2 volts. They would be different material sciences that lead to the same result with the coloring of this feature, which means to say that at an intensity, it's going to add some aspect. I mean, I'm assuming that these are all colored plastic, so white light goes through it. So it brings in the question why you needed to do that at all. But for whatever reason, that's what it needed to do to emit the light through the filter. You know, that's Kelvin, temperature, intensity. So those are things in here that somebody might have got the ones and zeros wrong for. They might have got the speed or the momentum, and yet the equation resulted. It wouldn't do that if this was the computer. If I need to punch this 2 times to get a certain result, that's not going to be the result. So what did I do wrong? I had one of these ones and zeros in the wrong space, and I have to Hamming code that error. It's definitely one of them. One of the ones and zeros are flipped in the process. They sent me the message. It's supposed to go through the sheets on the code, but because when they programmed it from this one to this one, instead of this one that goes to these two, or this one that scales down, first sheet, second sheet, third sheet, that they do different math in that way. So we rely on the catalyst we know. Again, I don't really know Higgs's ability with the computers, but if I've got on the computer, I'm sure at a governmental level, you have to at least sign in, you have to do things, and when somebody gets that step wrong, there's a parity error or somewhere's in the force, right? And you start going through the process. That's the cybersecurity. What were they thinking? What was going on? Was there a distraction in the universe around them? Is that in part of the computer or the operator that sent the code? And so these are kind of the things you need to understand. You need to build a catalyst that is a director information technology where you've seen that before and try to recreate that, because you just can't stay out of the way. You know, especially from these positions, because then when they say something, you're going to look bad and then you're going to reflect it on them because they'll take your post. And something's backwards there. It's not supposed to go that way for the 4 years, only in the 3 mean, the margins there where that's supposed to happen later, should that happen. But if you can't do that, then by virtue, you're just in the way. And that's a really important feature to do here, because you could have served the double duty without expending extra energy, because you would have been nesting or latticing in more efficiently. Any examples that you would have had?
Thank you. Okay, thank you. So this talk kind of comes out of the following. So in the mid to late 1980s, certain badass Russian mathematician named Victor Kolyvagin made a valiant attempt to prove the Birchon-Swinnerton-Dyer conjecture. And he proved it for curves with analytic rank 0 and 1.